And good evening, friends. I promise to make another video for you to talk about source analysis. We will be talking about this on Wednesday for the A friends and on Thursday for the B friends. But I know that some of you want to get ahead. Some of you want to work on Tuesday, and the B kids might want to work on it on Wednesday. So in your source analysis, all this means is what sources are you using for your research? Okay, this is not the same grade as your paper. You actually get 2 grades, one for the paper, one for your sources. Okay, the directions here, you need to find a minimum of 2 sources for your letter. Okay, so that could be 2 websites or a website and a magazine, whatever you find, right? Most of you, it will be websites. You can even use the 2 that I found for you on the week 7 um, folder. If you want a 4, you need to have 3 or more. Okay, 4 is probably the max. I wouldn't really use more than 4, or else you're working too hard. Okay, you do not need to fill out every key point of spot on the source, just 2 or 3 sources. So, for example, someone got scared when they saw more of these, right? Here's my first source. Here's my key points. And how can I use it in my project? Could be, where you want to write it or why you think it's important, right? So here would be the fact why it's important in your paper. So you need a title, which is easy to find. The author is easy to find. It may be a website if you don't see a name. Usually it's at the top in small print right underneath the title. Sometimes it's at the very bottom. Okay, the source, okay, is this the name of the website? So, for example, like the Department of Natural Resources. When was it written or updated? Should have a date, usually next to the author. What is the purpose of the source? For most of us, we would probably say to inform people, right? That's it. Don't be too crazy, right? And how could bias affect this source? This basically is asking you, how do you know this source is fair, right? Is there something about it that you think it makes it fair? Is it because it's from an official site, like a government site or historical site? Or is it because it presents both sides of an argument, maybe? Okay, don't worry about going too crazy. Just think to yourself, how do I know this source is fair? So here, the summary. What is the article about? Just a few sentences about what the article is about. It's probably related to the bubble that you're looking at, right? So 3 for this one, right? You can skip this page if you want until you find source number 2. We do it again. 3 points or more. Again, if you have more, that's fine. Otherwise, leave us alone. Same thing for here. 3 key facts from the source or 2. How to use it, right? Leave this alone, right? And again, if you don't have 4 sources, that's fine. Okay, if you do, here's space for your last one. Okay, if you only find in your source 2 good points, but they're really strong and you use them, leave it there then. Leave 2 instead of 3, but we're looking for 2 to 3. Okay, you want to make a copy of this. Okay, don't share it with me yet, because if you share it with me, I'm going to assume you're done. You may go back and realize that you made a mistake. If you want a 3, you need to make sure that you clearly explain to me where it's coming from and describe why you're using it. If you want the top score, you got to answer this bottom question right here. How does bias affect my source? Again, that is, how do I know my source is fair, right? So there's the scale for how I grade you, okay? Because we're not printing, you'll have to share it with me after you turn your paper in, okay? So don't worry about turning it in early. Remember that is a different part of your grade. You can still get, if you get a 3 on this, you can still get a 4 on your letter. Okay, so they're separate. Okay, if you have questions, make sure that you ask Mr. B either through Schoology or email, or like I said, I'll be teaching this to the A friends on Wednesday and the B friends on Thursday. You can wait until then. You might not want to, because then you're running out of time. You only have the weekend and 3 days after. Okay, so you're really cutting it close if you wait too long. So you can start it and you don't have to finish it. You can finish it in class with me on those days. If you start it, you'll have a good chance of finishing it. All right, friends? So if you have any questions, I will see you Wednesday, Thursday. All right? And you can say goodbye to Micaiah.